Good morning, first graders. Today we are on page 17 of your student journal. We're on page 17. And our objective today I will mentally count back to find the difference. Okay, so a few things here. Mentally usually means we're going to do most of it in our head. So mentally means you're going to do most of it in our head. And count back is going to be our strategy. We're going to be counting backwards, kind of like we did with the number line, but instead of using a number line, we're just going to be counting. And find the difference means we're finding a subtraction answer. Okay, so let's look at our vocabulary. We see a number line here, but we're not going to be using our number line. And then they remind us about what an equation is. It's a number sentence. Here's a number sentence. And remember our words for subtraction. Our minuend is what we start with. Our subtrahend is what we're going to take away or subtract. And then our answer is called our difference. Those are our subtraction keywords. Okay, so they counted back with the number line here, but I'm going to show you a different way because we're not going to have number lines. They're not going to give them to us for today's lesson, so we're going to have a different strategy. Okay, so our steps say we're going to put the minuend, or our starting number, of the equation in your head. We're also going to actually write it down. So I'm going to show you how we could write it down. I'm also going to show you how we could put it in our hand. So I'm going to show you a couple different ways to do it. And then we're going to count back the subtrahend in the equation and find and record the difference. Okay, so boys and girls, I'm going to show you how we can write it down and do it in our head, and I'm also going to show you how I can put it in my hand. Okay, so here's my first equation. And I have my red pen, boys and girls, so you can sit down your pencil just to watch for a moment. Okay, my first equation is 8 subtract 1. So my minuend is 8. This is what I have. This is what I'm starting with. So I'm starting with 8. Okay, ready? So if I have 8, that's where I'm starting. And they want me to count back 1. So my subtrahend means count back 1. So I'm going to put one line there. So what is 8 if I go backwards 1? Isn't it 7? So my solution, or my difference, is 7 because I counted back just one spot. So when I did this on the number line, I actually had my number line that would help me. Now I just have to kind of create it on my own. Another way that I like to do this, friends, is I like to put my minuend in my hand and then count back how many I need to count back. So I have 8 in my hand, and if I go backwards 1, I have 8, and then 7 is 1 back. So I knew my difference is 7. Okay, let's look at another way to do another problem. Ready? We have 12 subtract 2. Okay, so my minuend is 12. That's what I'm starting with. And they want me to count back 2. My subtrahend is 2. So they want me to go back 2. I'm going to take away 2 or subtract 2. So what is right before 12? If I count backwards, it's 11 and then 10. So my answer, or my difference, is 10. Okay, sometimes I do this one, again, just in my head. So I put my minuend in my hand and I say I have 12, and then I'm going to count back 2. So 12, 11, 10. And I counted back 2 and I still get 10. So this is like a strategy of just counting backwards in your head. Okay, so let's try some of these together. Okay, ready? Here is our first one on page 18. We're on page 18, okay? Okay, so our minuend is 5. So we're going to start with 5. And they want us to subtract 1. We're going to take away 1. So let's put one line in front of the 5. So what, boys and girls, comes right before 5? If I count back 1, I get 5, and I'm going backwards is 4. So our difference is 4. Okay, I could have also done that without paper by saying I have 5 in my hand, and if I count back 1, what comes before? I have 5, 4, because I'm counting backwards 1 in my head. Okay, let's try another one. Okay, so our equation is 8 subtract 2. So our minuend, we're starting with 8, and they want us to subtract 2. They want us to go backwards 2. So I'm going to put 2 spaces. Okay, so now we have to count back. So I have 8, 7, 6. So I'm going backwards. Okay, so our difference or our answer is 6. Okay, and I probably would have done this by putting it in my hand, saying that here my minuend is 8 and my subtrahend's 2. So if I count back 2, I have 8, 7, 6. And my solution would have also been 6. Okay, boys and girls, you're going to keep practicing these with your teacher and on your own. Have a wonderful day. Bye.